Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Soheb and you are watching Wrestling Fact. Every WrestleMania match of Rey Mysterio career ranked. Rey Mysterio is a legend in the industry. His career at WrestleMania features great performance and iconic moments. Many would agree that Rey Mysterio is the greatest masked wrestler of all time and currently one of the biggest names WWE has ever helped create through his career. The Master of 619 has had some trademark matches and been involved in many major moments. Number 8. Rey Mysterio vs Jbl Wrestlemania 25. This moment ended up being Jbl final wrestling match. As he retired after being defeated, Rey Mysterio picked up the win in squash match that did not last long, which was done because Jbl was seriously bandaged up. He wanted to retire with big moment like this, which was the perfect way to ride out top heel, as he quit the job after the embarrassing defeat. While it wasn't a classic match, this moment at least made it memorable. Number 7. Rey Mysterio vs Samava WrestleMania 35. 10 years later, Rey Mysterio had a very similar experience to his WrestleMania match with JBL, with injuries forcing it to be quick. While 3 was no retirement involved, here the quick squash slide more impressive from wrestling perspective. It was actually Rey Mysterio himself who had the injury walking into this one, and there was a situation heading into the show that he wouldn't be competing at all, but thankfully he pushed through to wrestle. Number 6. Cruiserweight Open WrestleMania 20. Having massive multi-man matches at WrestleMania is not a surprise, and it's something that the company has been doing for a long time. This is to fit as many people onto the show as possible, and at WrestleMania 20 this was that match, fitting in the Cruiserweight division. For a Cruiserweight Open, there was only going to be so much that this match would do, given the fact it was just 11 minutes long. It was a pure spring with lots of high-flying action, which is expected from a match with talented who work that style. It might have been short considering the number of talent involved, but it was currently an enjoyable one. Number 5. Rey Mysterio vs Matt Hardy WrestleMania 19. This is a prime example of how wrestlers can make the most of the minutes they are given in the ring. Rey Mysterio and Matt Hardy didn't get tons of time when they battled for the Cruiserweight Championship, but they made the most of it. The duo was visually experienced by this point and know exactly how to make things work. They didn't slowly build to the match, instead knocking they off and kicking things off at fantastic pace and not slowing down at any point. Number 5. Rey Mysterio vs Matt Hardy WrestleMania 19. This is a prime example of how wrestlers can make the most of the minutes they are given in the ring. Number 4. Rey Mysterio vs CM Punk WrestleMania 26. Heading into WrestleMania 26, Rey Mysterio and CM Punk were seen as two of the very best in the business with a great storyline. of Rey Mysterio potential joining the straight edge society. He lost the fans we are currently invested. The two men had brilliant chemistry and went back and forth with some excellent contests and rivals being thrown into mix. Everything they did seemed incredible easy for them with their timing being sensational. This led to a brilliant match. The finish did seemingly out of nowhere. The pair went on to have better matches together, but this was certainly still a great one. Number 3. Rey Mysterio vs Eddie Guerrero, WrestleMania 21. When you put two people as talented as Rey Mysterio and Eddie into a ring together, you know that the match is going to be something special. This was exactly that, not disappointing any of the fans who had high expectation for them. This was actually the opening match for WrestleMania 21, and it was a perfect way to kickstart the show. The match was fast-paced and full of amazing exchanges, which is to be accepted from athlete of this standard. While they did have better matches than together at other stage, but this is the grandest stage of them all, and it really was brilliant match. Number 2. Rey Mysterio vs Cody Rhodes, WrestleMania 27. Rey Mysterio and Cody always had tremendous chemistry when they locked up in the ring. This was a prime example of that, as they both went out and tore it up, putting on a really strong mid-card match for the show. There was a brilliant storyline put in place for this match as well, with Cody blaming Rey Mysterio for no longer being dashing, utilize his face mask to his advantage. It was moment where seemed like he would kick on in WWE to main event scenes afterward, but suddenly that never happened. Number 1. Rey Mysterio vs Randy Orton vs Kurt Angle, WrestleMania 22. When it comes to Rey Mysterio's WrestleMania matches, the most iconic and best came at WrestleMania 22, competing for the World Heavyweight Championship. This was peak of his major push by the company. Having won the Royal Rumble, he got to mix it up with two of very best main event stars and create one of the most iconic moments in WWE history. Triple threat matches are never easy to get right, yet this one currently was kept to frantic peak with lots of rivals and twists, but everyone got their spot in, with Mysterio eventually reaching his dream goal with the win.